Good morning, all. Hope we are well. New week, new opportunities. Looking forward. Hope you all had a good weekend. And now it's time to get back to work. So, let me just bring up everything. So we have everything nice and set here. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, let's get ahead with this weekly analysis. Morning. And for the weekly analysis here, I haven't touched the chart since the weekend. I had a look, but I haven't adjusted my lines. So you're going to see what I'm going to do here. Going to hide all drawings. Now, weekly candle here is closing weekly bullish. Right, so not giving us too much information, but it's still bullish, right? So we can potentially fill the wick. I was hoping we close above this support here at 164.315. That would give me confidence that we could see price probably tap up into 167.480. But we haven't closed above there. We've closed below there, but we're not exactly rejecting. Now, what's very important here is this weekly low. So this weekly low is going to come here at 162.620. So I want you guys to remember 162.600, 162.500, around that zone. We need to remember that because that's going to be the weekly low. Because if we start breaking the weekly low, that we could see some further downside, and that'll start to make more sense on the daily, right? So on the daily, that weekly low is here, which would also be breaking this daily structure that we're holding above and breaking 4-hour structure. And maybe we could see a retest to 161.800. But for now, what we can see here is we're ranging in this higher range here, trying to create support in here with all these rejection wicks. So selling into this rejection wick is going to be very, very risky here and can reject any time. So I want you guys to understand that on the higher time frame, that selling into these rejection wicks is not really the best idea at the moment until we have further confirmation. So moving down further, now if you guys don't know how I mark up the charts here, you would mark the weekly resistance, which would be all the way up here, which you don't really need to do. You would then mark this daily resistance up here, boom, like so. You can see you'd mark the daily resistance, and then you'd mark this 1-hour resistance. So now we'll start cleaning up the lines here. So now we go to the 4-hour, we bring this down here. Actually, we'll keep it because that will be lower time frame. This is also going to be our 4-hour resistance up here. We have a 4-hour support down here like this, right? So we mark that 4-hour support, and you'll probably see that this line doesn't become too relevant once we start going down. But we can see previous 4-hour here has closed doji, not giving us much information, not breaking above the highs and not breaking the lows. 1 hour, you can see how this line is now irrelevant. So we're going to bring this down to here and move this to 1 hour. And I even believe on the 15-minute, this is also going to be irrelevant here. So let's see, 30. No, 30 is relevant. 15 is just about irrelevant. So we bring this. So that's our current range lows here. Our range highs are somewhere up here, right? Yep, like this. How does that look on the 30-minute? Yeah, something like this. And essentially now we're stuck in this range here. And this is quite a big range. From top to bottom, it's around a 50 pip range. So definitely a tradable range. Looking for buys from the bottom and potential sells from the top as you would trade a range like that. But it's a little bit messy here. So in order for me to make a plan here, if we start breaking this 4-hour, we're just buying into this. So it starts to become tough again. Yeah, it's quite tough today. It's quite tough. Not the easiest session here. But yeah, if we pull back to the bottom of the range here pre-London and start rejecting again, we could potentially look to buy price up here. But if we start breaking outside of this range and get a breakout here, sells, I would need a target for sells today. So I need price to break below here, pull back, and then I can look to sell to this target here, get below all of this daily resistance zones here. And that's what I really need, to get below these daily resistance zones. Basically these wicks here on the daily, right? Which is below 500. So if we go to the 15-minute back on 500, we can see that 500 zone is between these wicks. So once we get below there, and I see, because price is closed here below in the past, closed below here in the past, but we get rejection. So if we manage to close below, but then when we reject, we don't fail, like we don't continue up, we fail, that's where it will give me the opportunity to sell. But for buys today, if we're going to remain in the range, we're obviously buying from the bottom of the range, and selling from the top of the range today is a little bit tough unless we see some sort of fake out. But I don't mind trying to buy if we can hold support in this zone here, dip down, maybe do something like that. You can look to buy back up to these zones here, and that will basically be the option here on GJ. Pretty simple. So let's have a look at gold as well. Gold analysis, we will remove all drawings if we need to. Yeah, let's remove. So I hope there's someone who messaged the group. I hope he's in the chat. He said, I am not too sure how you mark up your charts. Can you please help me to show you how you mark up the charts? So yeah, on GJ, the reason I don't draw new lines is because it's wasting my time. Because I'm always looking at it and there's always lines. But gold, I don't mind doing it to show you because I trade that higher time frame anyway. So you always start on the weekly time frame. You only have to look at the weekly time frame once a week. So you mark the most recent support. So we obviously have a weekly support here. We're going to mark that as WS so we know what the support is here, right? And you can see, right, how the weekly has created support. So on gold here, weekly has created support, which gives us the possibility to continue price up here, potentially up to 1871 as a target, right? So next we go down to the daily time frame and we look for, okay, what's the next resistance? We're closing above this resistance here. We have this small daily resistance here at 1865, right? So that's a daily resistance. So I know what that is. And that's a potential target for today, essentially. Gold is looking quite nice on the 4-hour. We're at resistance now. We need to start breaking back above. That's your most recent 4-hour resistance. So you're going to watch this zone to see if you're going to get reaction here. So for gold, it's obviously bullish here and I'm looking for more upside, but we need to get above this resistance in order to try trade towards the upside, because we have this LTA here. This zone, how big is this zone? It's only 35 pips, so not the best zone to trade, but you could anticipate for it to continue past it, and then you have basically to the daily resistance almost 100 pip range once you start trading above here. So an hour close above this resistance could be a good option, which would also be the daily flip, and yeah, basically above this 15. Now if we do break down here and respect this support here, potential buys from this support can be traded back up to. I would prefer to see an hour close above here and then price pull back and then continue, not a pullback on like a 15-minute support, kind of just a respect of the zone, and that'll give you your options for upside. If we break below the support, I wouldn't be selling because you're selling into all of this. So don't be selling. You have plenty of time to sell. It's too early to sell at the moment, right? We need daily candles closing bearish before you can even consider selling, right? So for gold, that's basically the plan. Pull back to here. You can see some support. If it fakes out and then closes back in the range, also an option here, right? So yeah, pretty simple, clean analysis here. If you guys have any questions, drop it in the chat. And yeah, now we have this plan. We just see what price populates. We can populate some new ideas here, some new plans. I wanna see what you guys are thinking. This is also to help you guys. So let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking, and we'll take it from there. Sweet John, does that make more sense now? Is that clearer, John, on how to mark that up? If there's something specific that you don't really understand, you can ask me and I will look to help you with that, right? So yeah, if you guys enjoyed that analysis, leave a like. If you enjoyed the analysis, if you agree with the analysis, leave a like. If you don't agree, you know, do the normal YouTube business as always, you know, get that out of the way. I'd appreciate it. Also, Xauusd, if you can link in the chat yesterday's video, I'll just pin that. Yesterday, guys, I made a video on live streaming and what I think about live streaming and how to use live streaming to your benefit. Highly recommend you guys click that video and watch it now during the stream or after the stream, whatever suits you. It's only a 5-minute video and it just explains how to use live streams to the full advantage and what you might see on other live streams and what mine is and how mine's a little bit different and how to maximize my stream and get the best results out of it, right? Because I want you guys to be result driven, not just visually driven. I could sit here all day, show profit, show lifestyle, but you guys are not going to improve, right? So much liquidity. Yeah, it's not essentially liquidity. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of, we're basically in a range. So you can expect price to breach out the top of the range and breach out the bottom of the range. But range normally means low volume. Oh yeah, and I missed the most important part of this week it is NFP week. So forgive me guys. Here's the video. Thanks for linking that. So let me cover this first. So today is Monday. We do not have anything, right? We have some PMI at 130. Don't really, that might do something, but that's after. But look, we have Powell speaking twice, I believe, this week, right? So we have Powell speaking on Tuesday, okay, for gold. Be very, very careful. Then we have USD. Powell speaks on Wednesday again. And then on Friday, I think we have NFP here, right? Yeah, you see on Friday we have NFP, non-farm employment, right? So you have your employment change here on Friday. So it's very, 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 very heavy news here on gold and for the USD, right? We have GDP on Friday as well for the pound. We have JPY, another press conference. So it's quite a heavy week here, beginning of the month, very heavy week in terms of news. So markets might be a little bit slow until that. We even have ADP in the middle of the week. So gold is going to be extremely volatile this week. And I expect very heavy moves in gold. So be very, very careful. Only take solid setups this week. Don't be trying to be a hero, because, trying to be a hero every single day is going to actually make you fail, right? So don't be a hero this week. Don't think because there's so much news, because if news goes the wrong way, you guys are going to be in deep loss. And to recover that is going to take time, because news moves are normally bigger than average moves. So understand that and be very, very careful this week, and understand how much news we have going on. And these are going to be key indicators here, especially what Powell is going to say, and looking at employment change and stuff like that, right? And especially GDP for the pound here. So yeah, be very, very careful and be wise, all right? Keep that in mind. Sweet. This is the video from yesterday. I'm going to pin this video. Definitely watch this video to see how to benefit from, this basically streams, right? How to benefit from streams. It's only a 5-minute video, well worth a watch. So I'll leave that in the pin message. Click that, like it, and do all of that business. Do I trade the news? I do not personally trade the news. If I am going to trade the news, I'll look to get into a position before the news and try hold it if I'm deep in profit. Let's say I'm 100 pips in profit, 90 pips in profit. I'll try hold it through the news and get that extra push, because that's what really gets you big moves. For that, I'll probably do that on gold, but I need to do a very, very in-depth analysis and understand what type of news and how that's going to affect the markets and what people are expecting, and more importantly, what price action is doing, right? So popping up here before the news, weekly candle closing bullish here. You expect the weekly to continue up. Monthly is potential. This is just the top wick of the monthly here, right? Oh yeah, sorry, I'll put that back up. So I'll put chat back up now for you guys. There you go. So yeah, you have to understand how this news is going to affect, right? So the first news you have here is Powell. Whatever Powell says can affect. If Powell if Powell indicates that basically we're going to keep the rate increase at like 5.5, we're not going to increase any more than 5.5%, you'll probably see gold go down, because people are going to be like, okay, there's not going to be too much inflation here, and we'll probably see gold actually start to head down, right? So that's the first important thing, right? So then you have ADP here, which is basically the change in people employed during the month. So if we see actually more employment, that's going to be good for currencies, and that's going to show that the US economy is doing well. So we'll probably see I would probably estimate we would see gold even if that comes out good, or if it comes out as expected. I don't expect much, but if it comes out good, I would expect gold to spike down. So all of these are negative if they come out positive, essentially, right? Especially with here ADP and NFP, right? If NFP, right, actual greater than forecast is good for currency, gold trades against the currency. So with gold going up here, right, you can expect the Dixie, which is a basket of currencies traded against gold, right, to be kind of heading down here, right, on the daily. Is it best to trade from 30-minute time frame or keep it simple as opposed to going to the 15? Yeah, of course. Trading from the 30-minute time frame can be very, very useful. The only problem with the 30-minute time frame is sometimes it can go without you. If you're a beginner and new to trading, I always recommend to people who I speak to start off with the 30-minute time frame, because it's kind of that mid time frame that's going to give you a lot of benefits here, right? So as I said that, my camera shut off. So it's out of battery, which is annoying because I forgot to charge it after recording this week's video and last week's stream. So since I forgot to charge it, I'll just plug in my other camera. So give me a sec, because I do have another camera here. Quality is not going to be as good, but it'll get the job done. It will get the job done. So yeah, I recommend using the 30-minute time frame if you're a beginner. And once you start to get comfortable, you can start looking to use the 15-minute time frame to take trades, right? So yeah, that's definitely the best way. I'll explain. Let me just fix up my camera and then I'll explain to you. Give me a sec. I had it working a second ago. It's almost done. All right, that should do. Yeah, that should be all right for now. Until I charge my camera tomorrow. Yeah, that looks all right. So one sec. Okay. There we go. So yeah, so as I was saying, sorry about that, guys. I need to charge my camera, but yeah, I would recommend using, if the trade makes sense on a 30-minute, I'll trade on a 30-minute. So for example here, the clean buys are going to come here on like a 1 hour time frame if we close above, because 15-minute is messy. 15-minute you need to wait for a close above here. So the trade changes depending on the time frame. You can see to sell below here is cleaner on a 30-minute time frame, because the 30-minute has never closed below. So if it makes sense to take it on a 30-minute, take it on a 30-minute. If it makes sense to take it on a 15, take it on a 15. You think GJ is going to break the range? This week, yeah, I do think it will break the range this week for sure. Not for sure, but yeah, you know. Do I only mark up the last swing support and resistance on each time frame? Basically, not only swing, but just what is your session? If you check that video, let me see if I can show you exactly. Look, let me show you this. Right? We go here to this course, right, which I told you to watch here. So you go to this point here. Here, markups, right? So you can see how I tell you here to start from the daily, weekly, and I tell you exactly how to market, you know. So you're not marking, you see, you would mark this most recent. That's what I'm trying to explain here, right? I'm trying to explain that you'd mark the most recent. And it's not only the swing, it's just the structure, right? That's your support and resistance. I tell you how to identify that. So you can see that would be your most recent, right? And then you can drag it to adjust it on lower time frames so it looks nice. So just watch this section here over and over again, right? Just this section here. Section number 3, watch that. Is there a video on how news impacts the market? Well, you can't make a video on that because every single news event impacts the market in a very different way, right? So you can't really make a video. Someone wants analysis on AU. Yeah, I could probably do that. Let's have a look at the weekly time frame here. So weekly time frame has closed bullish at support. If we break this weekly high, I could see some more upside. Daily as well, looking good. Yeah, I think I'm bullish for now on AU, looking at those 2 time frames. Yeah, definitely this. So either you're gonna come pull back here, find support. If you find support here or somewhere in this zone finding support, you can look to buy back. But if this breaks above the high and closes, right, and starts to get above these wicks, you can look for continuation, which is the weekly high, right? So you can look for to continue the buys once we break that weekly high. 1 hour buys are gonna come above here, 0.67808 and stuff like that. Yeah, so ranging for now, but once we start getting the breakout, you might get more upside move. If we just end up breaking down, you know, there's maybe potential for counter trend sells. If we start closing below, yeah, closing below 0.67439, you might have an option here to sell down into the lows, basically. So yeah, GJ here is kind of trying to create, you know, support here to continue up, but yeah, this 5 minute is nice. I like how this is closing. Range is just a bit small though. If this type of formation where we pulled back happened here, and it was this time, that might have been a good option, right? To take buys somewhere around here like this, if we had the same type of formation. But the only problem is the worst thing you want to do is trade in the middle of the range. The middle of the range is where you get the most inconsistencies in the moves, right? You either want to be trading from the bottom of the range or the top of the range. Never you want to be trading in the middle, because this is where you're going to get your inconsistencies. This is where most people are also going to fail, trying to trade the middle of the range here, right? So that's why, even though this trade can play out here, but long term, this is where you're going to lose, right? But you see, yeah, breaking, especially breaking this previous 5 minute high here, 15 minute created a support. You know, there's no reason you can't tap easily into this resistance here and see what happens. You know, you'd go break even once you tap that resistance, but again, that's only 4 pips. And spread, if you guys check spread is pretty high now, right? Because we're in a low volume range. So you'd basically be only like 2 pips in profit. Also, I'm gonna quiz you guys next week on the 16th is something. Can you guys explain to me what happens next week on the 16th? In chat, let's see if you guys can explain to me what happens next week on the 16th. Let me turn up this light. Maybe make the camera look a little bit better because it looks terrible. So someone explain to me next week what's going to happen on the 16th. You guys have to know this, right? It's very important. Oh, there we go. Nice job. Exactly, Henry. Time zone change. Right? London session is going to be an hour earlier. London session is going to open. You start OnlyFans. Maybe. Maybe. Who would subscribe to that? Who would subscribe to that? I'll start only pips. Exactly. Time zones are changing. That means London session is going to be an hour earlier. So that means you guys on the stream have to show up 30 minutes earlier. You know, so understand that. I will start probably... Now I start at 10 a.m. Dubai time, which is 30 minutes ago. That's when the streams normally start. I'll probably start at like 9:20 a.m. and finish around this time. So, yeah, understand that it will be starting earlier. So you guys better show up earlier. Definitely you. Alright, gold here trying to break down from the highs here. Just have to watch what it does at this support. Nice push through now. Probably... I don't see why we can't find our way into this support zone right here. And then if you see support form here, bullish candle close, can look for buys towards the upside. Buys will make sense. Right, so wait for this to pull back, show you that it respects this. And the same trade that you got here basically, of this buys, like this, to test the highs, you can get that same trade right over here, right? If that happens again. And if it breaks these lows, then you're wrong. And that's trading for you. As you can see, this is rejecting now inconsistency in the middle of the range. Typical. GU on 4 hour looks bearish, move to around. Yeah, we can have a look at GU, no worries. On 4 hours, so let me have a look at weekly, how weekly close. So weekly close as a support here, a lot of gaps here on GU, wow. Daily is also bullish, but in this range, very tough zone to be trading GU at the moment. For sells, I would need this 4 hour to close bearish first, right? You need this 4 hour to close bearish. This zone where you're trading right now is a very dangerous zone here. Look what happened before, close bearish range, boom, we get news to push us up. This zone right here is very, very dangerous zone. So you definitely have to be careful on GU here. For sells on GU today, I wouldn't be selling just now. I don't think that's a good idea to sell right at the moment. Maybe you can look to sell earliest below 1.2092, but that's even risky, right? Selling into these supports. So tough spot, tougher than GJ, I would say. They're both tough, you know, both Gbpjpy pairs here are being tough. Let's have a look at what all Gbpjpy pairs are doing. I mean JPY here, sorry. Yeah, that's also tough. Have a look at stonks. The NAS, what is NAS doing? Weekly on Nasdaq here, closing bullish. We're at this resistance here. Interesting. Daily, also closing bullish. I do expect daily looks alright though. 4 hour is coming towards this resistance here. Potential wick fill here. That's a potential wick fill option. Let's have a look. London sets the trend. Gives you pullback for New York to continue to move down. Very interesting. Bullish day. London sets the trend. Pulls back. Gives you the pullback for New York to continue bullish. Wow, very interesting. See that again. Trend is bearish, coming down here. London. Here, London does not give you the pullback to continue. Range, London gives you the pullback. New York to continue down. Very interesting. Here, bullish move here. London, ranges, New York, easy breakout. Boom. So today, if we were looking at that, today would be buys as an option here. Morning, guys, morning. Just having a look at NAS here. Fair value gap. I don't trade fair value gap, so I won't make a video on it. I do have a video already on fair value gap versus LTA. I compare them, and yeah, you can have a look at that video. I'm waiting to sell zone. No, don't sell gold. It's too early to sell gold. Don't sell gold. I don't understand this logic, guys, and I've said this multiple times. Multiple times I said this. Why do you guys, when you see a big bullish move, you want to sell or you want to buy the highs? When you see a big bearish move, you want to buy or you want to sell the lows? It's a complete wrong mentality. You either want to catch a bullish move before it's happened, sell when it makes sense to sell, not try sell when you see a bullish move and buy when you see a bearish move. Doesn't make sense. If you guys haven't already, goal is to try get this stream up to 100 views, but that's not going too well at the moment. But, you know, past performance does not indicate future results. And maybe if I launch only pips, we will see a big amount of people join. And then that'll be good. So I'm trying to find ways in order for people to find the stream. And I think when the time zones change, we're going to have a big loss in viewers. Unless the viewers who are watching now like enjoy the stream. If you guys are enjoying the stream, then you're going to come when the time zones change. If not, then we're not going to get too many people, which is a shame because there's a lot of good info on here. So yes, I'm trying to find ways, and the only way, try change some keywords, maybe find a way to do that. So someone's short on GJ now. Yeah, see how this candle closes in 2 minutes if you're short on GJ. I mean, I would have preferred you were short from up here instead of in the middle of the range. In the middle of the range is where you're going to get the most inconsistencies. But there's no reason why this doesn't put you in a profitable position. Personally, I wouldn't be shorting so early. But based on the 30-minute closing bearish, as long as we start trading below the lows, right, we could possibly see some sells here, right? So we need this candle to close below these lows. This would be good for you. What's time zone change? Well, basically London, basically the clocks go back 1 hour for me, right? So you have to check what happens, but it's called daylight savings. So just have a research about daylight savings and see what time that changes for you. So everything will be shifted back an hour, right? London Open will be an hour earlier. These live streams will be around 40 minutes earlier. We'll actually stream closer to London as well. So everything will be shifted back. So they do this daylight savings, quite annoying, but London Open opening earlier is pretty good for me. I enjoyed better. So by next week, London will basically open in 15 minutes. We would have seen London Open. What's the plan today for GJ? Yeah, I'll write the plan up today for GJ. Morning, Ethan. So plan, very good. So the plan today on GJ is in a tradable range but tough, right? GJ is in a tradable range but tough. Buying from the bottom can make sense. Setting the lows is a no-go. Need a target for setting. Then, there we go. That's the plan. Selling from the top of the range can also be added to this plan, but yeah, I don't know. With previous daily bullish and all of these rejections, I don't really want to sell from the top of the range right now. Yeah, sells from the top of the range a little bit tough. The buys look a little bit cleaner. Like, look at this, like, you know, slow move down, buys, boom. This is an okay move down, but these buys are a little bit quicker. Alright, there was someone in sells. I wonder if you're still on the stream. This breaking the lows is a good sign here. Just worry about this top wick here, that is not a very steep top wick, so this could push down and reject and start to come up if you were in sells. You want this 5 minute now to close below here, so you have 3 minutes here. A 5 minute closing below here will give you good confidence to close your trade. If this rejects like it is now and closes bullish, it's not the best sign here, and you can potentially look to close half of your trade if something closes above here, or just close the full trade. But for now, it's looking alright. Just have to understand that from your entry, it's quite small. You probably want to secure profit somewhere around here, 163, 178. How about gold? Yeah, we spoke about gold. If it's breaking down, I guess. Yeah, it's breaking down here on gold. This support, if this basically holds, you can look to get the same trade here towards the upside. But remember that this week on gold is very crazy news week, right? You have Powell speaking twice, you have ADP, you have NFP. It's pretty crazy for gold, right? So be very careful here on gold, right? Wait for volume to come in, and then you can potentially trade it. So yeah, you have, if this guy's still in sells now, 1 minute till this candle close. This is a nice close. If anything starts closing above this 163.377, I would just close your trade at that point. But just remember in the future, right? If you're going to continue doing this in the future, long term, trading in the middle of the range is where you're going to take your most losses. Even though this works out today, you want to be able to repeat that trade over and over and over and over again. And if you're repeating a bad trade, something that doesn't work a long time, you're going to repeat more losses than wins. And if you keep repeating more losses, it's going to make your trading journey very tough and you're going to have less profitability. So just understand that maybe it works out today, but long term, trading in the middle of a range is very, very tough. If you sold from the top, I would completely understand. And if you bought from the bottom, I would also completely understand. And I would say that's a fine option. But trading in the middle is not always the best idea. Up 9 pips now. Setting my stop loss to break even with a small profit and commission. Yeah, 100% break even at this point is great. Yeah, if you're taking this kind of risky trade, it's okay to put your stop at break even now. Just long term, be very, very careful with this. And I'm just telling you this from experience. I've also traded in ranges before. And when I traded in ranges, and especially in the middle of ranges, is where my most losses come from, right? Why do you think Tradingview has an Apple logo here? Why do you think Tradingview would have an apple? Or emojis? Oh, we'd have a crab market here, right? Where's the crab? Come on, there has to be a crab. Here, animals and nature. There's the lobster. Yes. Where's the emoji? Yeah. Crab market. Now we have a crab. Check that out. Crab market. Crab market basically means it goes sideways because crabs go sideways, right? Simply made a lower high anticipating price to make a lower low or equal low. I'm done for the day. Yeah, that makes sense, but that would make sense if we were trending, but we're not trending. We're ranging, right? So it's a good idea. Your trade made sense for me, but understand that we're ranging, not trending. So Apple equal gravity, gravity equal falling. Yes. But no, this is like the Apple logo, like the Apple company logo. Hey, Christian. So yeah, very interesting. What other emojis we have here? Shark of the markets, huh? Yep, crab market. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin doing? Or Bitcoin. I'd highly recommend you guys, if you don't already know, in the Discord channel here. If I bring this down, you can see in crypto channel, we actually have daily analysis given. So check this out. You can see right here, good morning, survive the chop. We have weekly analysis with a chart, daily analysis with a chart, 4-hour and session bias, and all charts explaining possible scenarios here on Bitcoin. So you can definitely have a look at that. Can I have a look at EJ? Yes, I can have a look at EJ, no problems. Euro JPY, start on the weekly. Weekly is still closing bullish here, but you know, rejecting these highs, similar to what we saw here. Daily has created a bearish. If this daily closes bullish, that will give you a good option for tomorrow to take buys. 4 hours doing basically nothing. Yeah, it's kind of like GJ, it's ranging at the moment. I need the 4 hour to either start to break these highs to take buys here. I'm not selling. It's not a sell just yet. Sells, you need, how would you sell this? I mean, you're at the top of the range, so maybe you could sell from the top of the range, but it's kind of gone already. So, I mean, your sells would have come from that bearish closure right here, so your sells are kind of gone. Yeah, it's kind of a waiting game here. We're same ranging like GJ. I would not sell into these wicks. So, yeah, possibly wait for the daily close. Oh. Big move here on GJ. Push down, back to the bottom of the range now. So the question is here, will we reject the bottom of the range? Because if we reject the bottom of the range, that's where potential buys are going to come from, right? To play the range. I'd prefer to see a 30-minute bullish close here from the bottom of the range. If we break down this range, remember, you have to wait. Let's get below here with a 30-minute closure, pull back, and then you can look for sells. There's also news for EJ. Yeah, possibly Euro news, I would say, if there's anything, right? Today's Monday. Where is the EJ news? I don't see any EJ news. Small news here at 1:30. So yeah. Make a company logo like Apple, but bytes at each side. I believe there's a Chinese company who make iPads and stuff and iPhones that have the logo like that. Yeah, that's a big candle here. That's definitely a big candle. If this happened at the top of the range, it would have been so much easier to get involved in that. But in the middle of the range, it sucks. But maybe we get the breakout potentially today, right? If this volume candle continues and we start breaking down the range, could see us break down and finally start to break this 4-hour support here. Once we close below this 163, especially if we get below 162,700, and remember what I said, that weekly low, if you guys were listening, remember what I said about the weekly low? The weekly low is at 162,620, around this area right here, right? This is the weekly low. If we break that, that's where big sells are going to come, right? So those are going to be your ranges, but everyone is going to get stuck up trying to sell really early in here because they see this move. And this, if it's going to reject, this is where you're going to get your rejections, right? And this is where people are going to fail in this zone. So be very, very, very careful here. And don't just try to sell into these rejections here, right? Understand that. Because the easy sells are going to come below the break of the weekly low here. Very easy sells. Yeah, GJ is going in your favor. I'd recommend, if you're still in the trade, probably taking profit at the bottom of the range. There's no harm. Because if it's going to reject, this is definitely a zone where it will reject, right? Bottom of the range, that's your target. Don't be greedy. Even if it goes on without you, that was not your plan. If it was your plan to hold outside of the range and try break this range, then hold it, but don't be upset if it comes back to your entry. Yo, David. Euro USD, yeah, we had a look at Euro USD. I think we did. No, I'm not sure, but we can have a quick look. Weekly closing bullish, daily also closing bullish here. 4 hour almost at the top of the range. Yeah, Euro USD preferred potentially breakout buys, but I prefer to see a strong close above here, pull back, respect the zone to continue for buys. Your kind of buys is if this candle now closes bullish in 5 minutes here. I mean, not in 5 minutes, in 10 seconds. What's this range? As a 5-pip range, it's not enough. Yeah, it's tough because we're at the top of the range. The market positioning is not the best here. So potentially if this pulls back one more time, then you get the move, you might get the move up like that, right? But it's definitely bullish. It's more bullish than bearish. Nice work, man. Nice work. New here, what's up? Welcome, welcome. If you guys are enjoying the stream, do the YouTube business. If you don't know what the YouTube business is, you will know. It's just business we have to get out the way. If you don't know what it is, it's pressing the like because it helps. It's annoying to say. USD JPY, we covered USD JPY. If you show up earlier, you'll have a full analysis, or you can rewind to where we looked at USD JPY. But we covered it. Also, guys, if you haven't watched yesterday's video, which I pinned in the messages, if you look at chat, I pinned yesterday's video. Really, watch it. It's a 5-minute video. I explain the problem with live streams, why I started my live stream, and how you should benefit from live streams, right? So it's definitely something you guys should watch, because not only can you take those ideas and use it everywhere, because some of you might be watching multiple live streams, some of you might not be watching multiple live streams, but you need to make sure you understand these things about live streams and use it to your benefit, right? It's only a 5-minute video. Literally explains a lot. So we'll see what price does here. Ultimately, to get a move like this will be perfect if we got that here. I would love that, to see that. You take buys on that or on this. Kind of a close. Next one closes bearish, and then the next one closes bullish. that would be pretty easy and confident to take buys coming into London Open. That would sort of be your plan there. That would be like a simple plan, and that's what you would look for to execute on that trade, right? And that's only what you can do at the moment. If we start breaking the bottom of the range, remember what I said, wait for targets. Plan is there on the top of the screen. That's just a psychological level. I just leave them on the chart because you can see the chart sometimes just respect them sometimes. You see how it just respects these levels. Respect, 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 respect. So I just left it on the chart, right? It's just a watch zone, right? Just a watch zone. That's why it's just done in a light purple line. That's a big red candle. Why not bearish? Because we're at the bottom of the range. This is what I said. People get carried away trying to sell the bottom of the range. Don't sell the bottom of the range. We need to break the range before sells make sense. Just because we have a bearish candle does not mean sells. Right? This is where you make a mistake. You see a bearish candle, you should have been in that move if anything. Now everyone's going to try jump up into this move to try get price towards the upside. And you'll end up seeing something like this. Boop, not today. Come back here. London maybe does that. Then everyone's like, oh, I lose so much money in Forex. I don't know how to trade Forex. Yeah, don't trade a range, first of all. Range, you're going to get all these inconsistencies, sorry. So yeah, don't forget, guys, that next week, the 16th, the time zones are going to change, daylight savings. So the stream will be moved earlier because London will be moved earlier. So be sure to show up earlier. These streams started an hour ago for everyone who's joining. And we covered a lot of information. We covered a lot of analysis. And that's the point of these streams. If you want to understand exactly how my stream works, there's a link video there in the chat. All prepared for you guys. Look, I'm making things super easy. How do I determine how to put my orange lines? You can find that out in two ways. Either you can show up to the streams just to see, or in my YouTube channel, there is something called the 2023 Forex course. Skip to section number 3. There's timestamps. Go to section number 3. It tells you in depth. It's free, of course, how to mark up those step by step, right? So tells you how to mark up those lines step by step, so definitely check that out. On the other hand, basically you start from daily time frames. You're marking the most recent supports and resistance and zones that make sense. So you know, the 4 hour, we mark the 4 hour here. We have this supports and resistance on the 1 hour. See, that's our 1 hour resistance, 1 hour support. We're just marking up our zones, right? And that's basically that. So yeah, quite simple. And if you show up to the streams early when we do the analysis, you'll get it really quickly. So yeah, there's nothing much more to talk about, guys. I appreciate you all showing up today. We just have to wait at this time. Taking a buy right now is too risky. We're in the middle of the range again. What I would like to see, right, this is the plan before I leave you guys to execute, is I'd like to see this maybe close here. Next candle pull back. Then we create support, something like this here, to continue buys up, because buying just here is too tough and it's very hard to take buys, and you have to just be patient. So hope to see you on the next stream, and that's basically the only thing. I'll be updating in the group, so be sure to join the group where, you know, in the description below, where you can see the updates. And if you don't understand why I'm cutting the stream now, I recommend you watching the video in the link this tells you. And you know, now it's just a waiting game, so no point of me just sitting here wasting everyone's time. Yeah, and you know, we'll pick it up from tomorrow. And yeah, definitely check out the group so you can see if I do take a trade, because that's where I will share my trades if I do take one. And yeah, take care, guys. Have a good day. Peace.